The Steelers are 4, the Texans are 3. That's wrong. I'm sorry. It's wrong. The Steelers
No,
are
it's not.
Sorry,
no, it's not. No.
I don't know.
The Steelers will look better than the Texans.
No, the offense has looked a lot better in Houston. One bad game doesn't make
the Steelers have had 0 bad games.
Make me think the promise isn't there. I
Still,
know, but
remember,
I'm just projecting further down the season.
They have the best defense in the NFL.
I know that's not what I usually do, but it was.
Who's the best defense in the NFL?
Hold on,
Steelers.
because 30
so
seconds
that makes
ago,
them, and that makes them the 4th best team.
30
The best
seconds ago,
defense, but they're the 4th best team.
It's about who did you beat. You don't value the Chargers. They beat them. You definitely don't value the Broncos.
I do value the Chargers. I do value the Chargers.
I value the Chargers.
I do value the Chargers.
Where are they on this list? I must have missed them when I was scrolling. But also,
Justin Herbert just got hurt. That's why
Denver.
You can't make if your starting QB goes down, they're not going to win those games. Like they lost this week, and their starting QB went down. I completely understand why the Chargers aren't on the list, but that doesn't mean I wasn't high on them coming in.
Listen, Houston was number 2 on this list the week before. And I just think
there's a definitive Pittsburgh bias on this fucking power rankings, and they're one down from where they should be. They haven't looked bad at any moment all season. You've watched them.
The upside is higher for Houston on the season. So
the upside is higher for Houston on the season. They have farther to go because they've looked worse. And it's this week's power rankings.
Just remember your argument against me for Baltimore and just use it on yourself now. Like, that's what you're doing. Like, you're just playing both sides of the coin here.
I think the Steelers have the defensive player of the year.
That is very true. He might be MVP.
Like, we're talking roster. Fields is getting better week on week. Najee Harris looks like he can run in a run scheme by Arthur Smith. They look
Talk to me after the next couple of weeks. And
okay.
They might be able to.
No. You don't need to talk to them because they're playing Indy and Dallas, so they're going to be 5-0. Then they play Vegas, so we're going to call them 6-0.
Then they play the Jets,
and then the Jets, Giants, and then their season starts.
Jesus.
Then it's Commanders, Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Cincinnati.
So they really might start 7-0 though. Wow.
Yeah,
we have a potential. We have the potential for but the thing is like they look good. Like you can just tell watching them that they look good. Like Arthur Smith is a good OC. I told you guys that. I understand it was bad in Atlanta. I understand how bad it looked. I really genuinely do. But some people are just good at one job and not the other. And meant for one job and not the other. He is good, and that offense is getting better week on week. And the best thing that could have happened to that team was a softer start, to just give the offense some time to bed in and keep the defense healthy and off the field, which is all they were asking for.
8 points a game.
Can I also just point out they started their first 2 games on the road, which is difficult, and they won them pretty convincingly. And I will say this last point about them, just to have it on record. Every time the Steelers play a game against any team this season, it looks like a Steelers game. And what I mean by that is anytime a team can do that, I think that they're in the championship conversation. Anytime the team can make every single game their type of game, they have the potential to win.
Championship conversation.
I'm not saying right now, but I'm saying when a team can do that.
You're not saying right now.
Do you know what I'm saying when I say that, though?
I do know what you're saying, yes.
Have the Kansas City Chiefs been that team for the last, I don't know, nigh on 7, 8 years now, right? Where it's like, no matter how good the 49ers were going to be in that Super Bowl, the Chiefs made that Super Bowl a Chiefs game, right? Yep. And the Chiefs never lose a Chiefs game. Now, them being able to impose their will and this kind of current iteration of the Steelers team being able to impose their will, yes, I admit, it's a different kettle of fish, and you've seen the Chiefs do it a lot more times and in way higher stakes. But seeing that quality and hoping that quality germinates and becomes an identity, we're cooking. We're thinking about something. Quite frankly, a sophomore slump for the Texans right now wouldn't be a big deal. It really wouldn't be a big deal. If CJ still looked like himself but didn't quite put up the electric numbers, they saw that they maybe overperformed in a few personnel units last year. They made really good offseason moves, but not enough of them to sort of compete at the level to get to the expectations that we put on them. And they do the same thing in the next offseason, and then they're where we thought they were going into this year. Like, I think the expectations might have been a little unfair on the Texans this year. Is that, like, I mean, CJ Stroud's a second-year player. You know, I mean, it's like I was calling them to go to the Super Bowl. I'm out of my fucking mind. That's not fair. Like, that's not a fair thing to do. So I don't know. As of right now,
But that's
I
why
have
I
more
don't want to
faith
drop
in the
them down
Steelers.
too much because I still hold them in that regard.
I know you do, and I think it's fair. I
No.
think that they're really talented. I just think right now, if I had to put my life on one of those two teams winning a game, any given game on any given Sunday, the team that like enforces their will and their game plan across the entire season are the one I would feel safer betting on. I think you would too. So that's my impassioned play for them to be one higher on this power rankings. But what I do want to do really fast is, let's see, Chiefs, Bills, Texans,
It's all
Steelers,
it's all
AFC top 4. Okay.
All AFC.
Wow. NFC, guys, we are slacking. We fucking suck. I think that there's a the NFC do not look good. I think there's a possibility you could win 8 games and make the playoffs. Maybe 7 if we really want to be embarrassing. If you're the 7th seed and you've won 7 games in the NFC this year, that's going to be a rough watch. Okay, well, let's do it like this. The Steelers, the Texans, the Bills, and the Chiefs are all probably going to see each other come AFC playoff time. In a dogfight, Bobby, it's the Chiefs still, right?
It's
We should talk about the Bills, though. The Bills look good. The Bills look electric.
Why do we even have a show anymore? Because it's just
You know the
like,
way you always talk about the tiers, though? The tiers of the power rankings? The Bills and the
have they
Texans.
joined them? Do you think they've joined the Chiefs, the Bills?
But the Bills have played the Cardinals, the Dolphins, and the fucking Jaguars.
Strength of schedule things really
47-10 now.
But they won convincingly, though.
Yeah,
I do.
Sure.
I do.
It's like a
There is
college game.
there's something in the back of your mind about the Bills at all times, right? Like you just can't shake it. But
When Tua didn't play against the Bills, right?
no, he did.
he got hurt
didn't he
against
get-
the Bills. He got hurt.
Okay, so he got hurt in the second
Oh, he
quarter.
got hurt
the Bills?
against the Bills, and then he didn't play against the. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Against
So
the
they played Kyler and Tua for a half.
But I think Kyler's. I mean, I'm higher on them.
They came back against the Cardinals too, which is pretty
They
good.
did.
I don't know. I feel like Josh Allen's like out there making fucking plays, and I think his skill
He
players
is.
are all like more evenly distributed, and then they're kind of a fun offense to watch. But like, man, they have made me think that they were better than they actually are a few times. So I'm a little
Like every
gun
year
shy.
for the last 4.
Yeah, well, because they start playing really mistake-filled football towards the end of the season and like in the playoffs, and like Josh Allen specifically. And I get it, like you live with his mistakes because he's so like such a game-changing player. But
Yep.
damn, dude, like it's got to be frustrating in Buffalo. So I bet all the Buffalo fans are trepidatious like we are. But I mean, I understand why they're too behind the Chiefs. I really do. But I think there's a big difference right now between the Texans and the Bills, and I don't think there's that big of a difference between the Bills and the Steelers. Just saying. If the Bills and the Texans played right now, who do you think would win
The Bills.
Where is it?
in Texans?
Then the Texans.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting. Low on the Bills from Mike. I had to take note of that. All right. Well,
Only because you're saying like big game, and what you like, I fully believe what you just said too is that we've inflated them for the last 4 years, and
they look
they
even
just-
better though than when we inflated them before, don't you think? Like he looks like
Oh.
he's gone up a level, I think. But what remains?
I think it's all about who's played against, but you could be right.
All right. Well, since you guys aren't doing a Patriots only show this week, probably because like a doctor would have had to been present, I would love to go through and just do some quick.
Rachel would have died.
Yeah, I mean, damn, you can only get so toxic before you just become Ivan Ooze from the Power Rangers feature movie.